with Neil Trundle, and they had a very competitive F2 team. Now, the early MP4s, of course, were TAG Porsche powered, so it was a V6 1.5 liter twin turbo. Techniques Avant-Garde, the company from Mansur Orje, and they, again, were game changers in Formula One. They were utterly dominant, having the power of an OEM behind them, Porsche, building engines that were specific for their chassis. And that was one of the advantages McLaren had early on in Formula One of that era.
Now, Pato O'Ward, who is at the wheel of this car as we speak, has had a pretty fun relationship with his boss, as did Daniel Ricciardo, I may add. Daniel Ricciardo got to drive, I think, a Richard Petty car that Zach owns, but now and previously he has driven both Zach's current Formula One cars, and now he's driving a championship-winning McLaren as driven by Lewis Hamilton in 2008. And while I'm not a big fan of the shape of this particular McLaren, it does fit into the history of it. And of course, this was the controversial year that Lewis had to finish in fifth place. And were it not for a last lap change with Massa taking the victory, Massa would have won the World Championship, and Lewis Hamilton wouldn't, and it changed very quickly in a matter of seconds, and it was a lot of confusion. And would you believe it? It's 2023, and they're still debating it today.
Yeah, well, it was the whole notion of team orders and everything, and you know, people like to believe that they're athletes, they're champions, whatever, you know, that it's a fair fight and that everyone's trying to do the best they can for themselves. But Formula One racing is a team effort. There's 1,000 people behind this car. And McLaren wants a championship. They're not worried about a particular driver's standing or ego. They want the team to win the championship.
I hope somebody's got a watch on this, because I know Pato well enough to know that he is not going to hold back. He is obviously an IndyCar driver. He's raced Sonoma in an IndyCar many a time. He's been here to do these exhibitions as well. He's done Laguna. Look at him taking a little bit of dust and dirt. He is going for it.
Yeah, he is putting the hammer down when you're using going over the berms on the exit of turn 3A. That's pretty good. And he's certainly carrying a lot of speed into the carousel. Just look how the car is loaded up, and look how he's running out. I mean, he's really running the car well. I don't know what kind of times he's turning. We don't have access to that, but I'm sure he's not standing around.
No, he certainly is not standing around, and just watching him come through the top of the circuit now, just going through the gearbox, now through the S's and down towards that hairpin again, but he is absolutely on it. Mercedes powered, of course.